So now here we will talk about the substratum of our project, which is the grid. So what is the grid made up of? Here is our grid structure. Firstly, the grid is divided into cells. These cells comprise of block and walls. So basically there are 4 walls with indexes 0, 1, 2 and 3. The block is made up of quads. Quad is basically a flat surface which can be viewed only from one side as the other side is transparent. Since a cube has 6 faces, therefore we need 6 quads to represent a cube. One chord for each face, namely top, bottom, left, right, front and back.
In this section, we are going to discuss the main classes and objects used by the visualizer in depth. So the first class is called as grid. This class is responsible for generating and manipulating the visualizer arena and the initial grid. The main method in here is generate grid. So the generate grid method gets called automatically when visualizer starts, and it is responsible for generating the empty initial grid. The next method is draw walls. This gets called while executing generate grid method to draw 4 walls around each block of the grid. The next method is reset grid, which is used for resetting the grid in case we need another maze. Next is reset is visited, which is used for resetting the is visited property of each cell for running the next algorithm. And the reset color resets the colors of each cell to the blue color, which is initial color of the grid for running the next algorithm. The next class is the generator class. This class is responsible for creating a maze inside already generated grid object. The first method is generate maze method, which gets called after clicking the generate button after selecting the generation algorithm. DFS backtracking and double DFS backtracking are the main method here, which destroy the walls in between the grid and create the perfect maze for running the algorithms. The next method is destroy wall between, which takes 2 cells as a parameter and destroys the wall in between them. The next class is called as the cell class. Cell is the most basic unit of the whole grid. It has a method called find neighbors, which returns C# list of cells which are neighbors to the current cell. The find random neighbor returns a cell randomly which is the neighbor to the current cell, and the get neighbor for wall method returns the cell which is the neighbor of current cell corresponding to the wall which is given as a parameter.
In this section, we are going to discuss the flow of a program. Once the program is started, the generate grid method is run. After that, the user has an opportunity to select the maze generator. Once the generate button is clicked, the generate maze method is run. After that, the isGenerated variable is set true. Following this, user can select a pathfinding algorithm. Once the pathfind button is clicked, the pathfind method is run. In this, depending on which algorithm is selected, the respective method is run. After that, user can either reset the grid or click the cross button to exit the program. The whole program is in a closed loop, so all these processes can occur recurringly.